All right, we'll go ahead and do roll call. All right, Commissioner Kadiai is going to be as excused absence today. And then Commissioner Curley. She's here, I know.
She's switching to her phone.
All right, she's here. And Co-Chair Toya.
Present.
Co-Chair Lance, I see him.
Here.
And Commissioner Hosky. Commissioner Hosky. And then Commissioner Kai Batoni.
Here.
Commissioner Marks.
Here.
And Commissioner Marshall.
I'm here.
And Commissioner Zavala.
Here.
Thank you. Back to you, Co-Chair.
Thank you, Rose. And we can begin with item A, land acknowledgement. Do we have anyone to volunteer to read the land acknowledgement this afternoon?
Sure, I'll read it.
Thank you, Commissioner Lance.
The Flagstaff City Council humbly acknowledges the ancestral homelands of this area's indigenous nations and original stewards. These lands still inhabited by native descendants, border mountains, sacred to indigenous people. We honor them, their legacies, their traditions, and their continued contributions. We celebrate their past, present, and future generations who will forever know this place as home.
Usfully, Commissioner Lance, and we can move on to item number 3, which is open for public comment at this time. No public comment, none. And we can move on to item number 4, approval of minutes. A, approval of April 3rd, 2024 minutes. Can we have a motion to approve minutes as is or approve with amendments?
Motion to approve.
Is that Commissioner Zavala?
Yes. Can we have a second motion?
I'll motion that, Commissioner Kaibatoni.
Okay, second. Thank you, Commissioner Kaibatoni. And now to move on to item B.
No, just to vote.
Do we all have a vote to approve the minutes at this time? I'll say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? No opposed. Thank you. Now we can move on to item B, approval of May 1st minutes, 2024. Can we have a motion, please, to approve the minutes as is or approve with amendments?
I approve.
Commissioner
Commissioner
Hosky approves the minutes, and also Commissioner Lance.
I approve minutes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No one at this time. We'll be moving on to number 5, general business. Possible vote. Item A, Flagstaff City logo. Flagstaff City Council gave direction to move forward with convening a work group to help oversee the creation of a new city logo. Further details will be presented by Chris Rowe, Public Affairs at the Indigenous Commission meeting.
Chris Rhodey will present. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you. Madam Chair, members of the Indigenous Commission. For the record, my name is Christopher Rhodey, Special Projects Manager with the City of Flagstaff. Thank you so much for having me today. Now, I did submit a short one-pager on this topic. Is it possible to have that pulled up on the screen? If not, that's totally okay as well. But
all right, let me grab that.
in any case, while that's happening, I can give a short overview of this project and why it's in front of you all today. A few months ago, the Flagstaff City Council gave direction for us to proceed with a project that will help us to create a new logo for the city of Flagstaff over the next year. The logo for Flagstaff right now is the symbol you may recognize as the Flagstaff City seal. It's a circle. It's got the mountains in the background with an elk, a flagpole and a flag on it, and kind of a fence going up the front of it. It's a very intricate design that's been used for decades and decades by the city. And our plan will essentially be to move that logo to be the city seal and to create a new design that will serve as the outward public-facing symbol for the organization of the city of Flagstaff, and by extension, for the community of Flagstaff. So as we were looking about how to go about this project in a way that would make sense, it would be workable, but still balance the representation and the public comment and all of those steps that we want to take with any kind of project like this that will serve as such a public symbol. We decided that the best way to go forward would be to create a small working group that's in charge of managing this project, kind of like the hub of many different spokes on the project. So the working group will be 5 people. The Indigenous group is essentially being asked if you would like to submit a member to be a part of that working group. The other groups that we are utilizing, and they're up at the bottom here, are the Commission on Diversity Awareness, the Heritage Preservation Commission. We felt that they have a good understanding of the history and culture of Flagstaff. The Arts and Beautification Commission, because they have an expertise in creating designs like this and helping to make would help to make a final product that is aesthetically pleasing and beautiful. And then one member from the Employee Advisory Committee, because this would be a symbol representing the organization. We figured it would be appropriate to have one person representing the organization itself. But the other 4 groups would be other 4 individuals. Our hope would be that you can bring a unique perspective so that when we get to a final design, it's a aesthetically pleasing and pretty design. It has history and connections to the culture of Flagstaff, and that it has representation and input from the far-ranging and varied groups that make up our community. So the gist of the project is that it'll take about a year. NAU, they have a visual design lab. So it's a program at their university that is run by one professor, oversees it, but many students participate in it as well. It's a class they can take, and they'll be handling the actual design work. So you don't have to know how to actually do the design. You don't have to know how to use any software systems. You don't have to have any experience with making logos or other visual images. They will handle all of that. We're just looking for a group that can convene about once a month and give them feedback as they do their work, because they're going to they'll put together several designs, make changes to them, and they'll come to us for feedback and essentially asking, do you like this? Do you not like this? What should we incorporate next? And we need someone to be able to give that direction to them on an ongoing basis. We didn't want City Council to be that group because that would just be too big of an ordeal to have on their agenda so regularly. It wouldn't be a benefit of their time. So we thought we could make a group that's specially designed for this that would be a little bit better at this task, perhaps. And that's where we got the idea. So our expectation would be that we would meet about once a month. Occasionally, we'll look for ways to hear public comment. I've heard from other groups as well that when they read this one pager, they were very concerned that this process does not have public comment. And I want to just clarify that the intent is to include a public process where members of the community can submit their own ideas or their own feedback on the process. We just wanted to let this group convene itself, and then that group of 5 people determine exactly how they want to do that process before we determine what it's going to be. So we anticipate that being a part of it. It may involve a public meeting or two. It will probably involve emails or other written correspondence. But I, as the staff liaison, will handle all the logistics for that. So really, we're just looking for this commission to, or this working group to meet and provide the feedback, take all the information from the public, from other city staff that may have input, and provide that to NAU to guide them through their process, with the hopes that in about a year, at the end of their spring semester, so a little less than a year now, they will have a final design that we can look at and say that we like as a final project design, and send that to city council with a recommendation that it be approved as the new city logo and symbol. That's, I think, a pretty good overview of what this project will entail. I'm happy to take any questions if you have. And then what I'll be looking for is, one, whether this commission would like to be a part of this project. If you don't, that's totally fine. I have some other backup commissions that I can bring in, but my thought was that you'd be a good place to start and that your input would be valuable. And if you do want to participate, if you have a recommendation, or if anyone on the commission wants to volunteer for that position, we could hear that now, or that could be pushed back a little bit. Our only hope is that we can get this commission, get this working group established, and they can have some initial instructions ready by the fall semester in late August. So really, we're hoping to convene once or twice before August to begin our work. And with that, I will stop talking and hear any questions or comments there may be.
At this time, I can open up the floor to anyone who has questions from the commission.
Any questions? Or anyone who wants to volunteer?
I have a question, Mr. Rowe.
Yes.
Are you just trying to incorporate and get some ideas? You had mentioned the history of Flagstaff, and also I know there's a lot of tribes that connect with Flagstaff, but I know it's going to be a lot of exchange of words and knowledge. But this is my own opinion, that I feel that what needs to definitely be incorporated is, like the mountain that's sacred to all of us, and some of the elements that are also very important to us, which is most, I feel one of the top is water. So, having that knowledge and the reasons are kind of how I'm coming from at a different angle. And I know you have a lot of commissions on there. I feel like can kind of balance that out with their knowledge and input. And I know a logo at times can be a little busy. And I know that, having to mediate that and have inclusion of some of those things with the help of the others, I feel is needed, because you will get the public comment, and everyone's gonna want a little say. So in my perspective, I do wish for the best of this logo, and for everyone to hopefully be pleased. But I know we cannot please everyone, and so that's just how things go. So I feel like it's going to be a nice project, and working together, being inclusive of one's and everyone's input.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And yes, that's our intention as well, is that we want to make sure that any symbols that we're going to use with our decisions of whether we include symbols, we want to make sure that they're used in an appropriate way. And so that if we, like, for example, if we include an element of the mountains, we want to make sure that it's done in a way that is respectful to the various perspectives that the tribes have to it, so that we're not doing it in a way that's going to be controversial or difficult. So we're looking to balance that where we have the right historical and cultural elements, but we have them there in the proper context. That's what we're looking for. Absolutely. Thank you.
Daryl, Commissioner Marks?
So maybe it's a question and a comment. I appreciate everything that is being shared, and I think that as far as like the willingness to incorporate symbolism and imagery is important. One of the questions I have is, do you know if the group that will be working on this will have Indigenous folks participating?
Well, so we're here at this commission to see if one of you would like to participate. So I believe right now we have three members that have from different commissions that have been confirmed. I don't know off the top of my head if any of them are members of a tribal nation, but we wanted to come to this commission deliberately to give an opportunity for that voice to be on this commission if you would like to be.
Okay. I think what I was asking was if there are artists that are participating.
Oh, I don't know that. The professor that runs this program is Caucasian. However, the work will be done by an entire class of students. So I don't, based on which students in that program at NAU sign up for this class, I do not have a roster for the semester this year, and it probably will change over the summer as students add and drop that class. My hope would be that absolutely. But whether or not there are is not really anything we can control. We can control the direction we give them from this working group.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Rhodey, I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm coming from a Hopi who is very culturally involved. We just got done with ceremony over the weekend, and a lot of our practices, and I know a lot of other tribal practices, there's always a male and a female. So I guess my question at this time would be, would it be okay for the Indigenous Commission to have a male and a female join this working session work group?
It's possible. We didn't have certain rules or anything when we created this group. We thought that 5 would be a good number because it's about the right size.
Yeah.
We liked it as an odd number because that avoids a tie if there comes to a vote. I'm certainly not opposed to that idea. It's not one I'd considered before. I'm certainly amenable to it, I think.
Okay, let me just revisit a little bit. So when you want the odd number, I believe you could include the male and female from the Indigenous Commission as one, if that makes
Okay.
it.
I think that we could absolutely accommodate that. That would be very, very doable. And one element I should note as well is that with this being a working group, it is informal, meaning that the membership is not, there's no set term for it. So if the person that joins or the individuals that join are unable to attend or they leave the community or they can't take on this project anymore, we can replace them fairly easily without a whole process to it. So yes, I think especially if you're coming from a place where you say that you would like 2 individuals to share 1 vote, if it comes to that, I think that's very workable.
I would appreciate it, and I feel like all the other commissioners, if they agree, I see some heads nodding. I feel like they are in agreement to what I'm saying. If I'm Right. I see Daryl shaking his head. And Commissioner Lance. Yeah. Thank you all.
I did see one question come through in the chat. Would you like me to answer that
Sure.
as well? Okay. The question was about the time commitment. I expect this group will meet probably virtually or in person. I'm not sure yet, but probably virtually approximately once a month. That's not set in stone. That's just how often NAU has told us they would like to seek feedback. And aside from that, what'll probably happen is I will forward information to the commission as I receive, or the working group as I receive it. And so my guess is that this will be at or less approximately 5 hours a month. All said and done. Maybe a 1 to 2 hour meeting once a month, and then just receiving information as it comes through, which I think is likely to be closer probably to 2 or 3 hours than 5. But I don't want to hold myself to that in case there ever is a month where there's a little bit more work.
Yes, and if you are able to, would you be able to do the Google selection of what times might be best
Absolutely.
for everyone? That would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. This is Commissioner Lance. So just kind of wondering, like on the artist kind of situation, to get some input, is it possible? I mean, I know Daryl Marks had, chatted that he was interested, and maybe Commissioner Tohi or Savala, but is it possible for like a artist to sit as a guest with us in order to kind of get some input too, or maybe just to listen in on, because
Absolutely. So I think the point of this is that this working group will serve as kind of the hub to give direction to the design team, and you can receive your input from anywhere that you would like, whether that's just the general public. If you want to consult an expert or somebody that has a particular expertise, I think that's more than welcome.
okay, that's thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lance. Anyone else? Okay, so it looks like Commissioner Marks is interested in being a member, right? And then are there any other interests to be involved? Otherwise, we can nominate or select the 2 individuals that are interested. One male and one female. I know that co-chair Toya is interested in being one of them. So go ahead, Commissioner Zavala.
Oh, I was just raising my hand for interest.
For interest, okay.
How would you feel, or would this be something also, Mr. Rhodey? And I know this may happen, like you were saying prior, that some individuals might not make it. So, like, if one should not be available, the other can step in. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with like an alternate as well, if you'd like. And if you're unable to make a meeting as well, that's fine. Again, the point of this commission, I think, or I keep saying commission, the working group will just be that to keep the process moving. We're hoping that we can do this in 2 semesters. They've told us that they think they can do that. And even if we don't have all 5 representations on this working group at every meeting, we're able to provide input. There'll be repeated times over the course of this project to provide input. So even if you miss one in October, you'll have a chance in November to incorporate any comments that you have. But NAU, they'll get to a point where they have products for us and will want to send them to us and to get direction so they can keep working. So we want to kind of keep the process moving as best we can, and even that may mean occasionally that 1 or 2 members is not present, and in any way that that you want to go about it, that's that's reasonable, we want to accommodate, because we want the various perspectives on this project. So if someone can't make it and you want to send an alternate for once, that's completely okay with us. We just want to make sure that we have a group that is meeting and is and is keeping this project moving, and that group is not homogenous to the point where only one viewpoint is getting through. We want to hear about, oh, well, this is, an important element, and someone else says, oh, well, that's, not historically accurate because of this, and that's crowd the design too much, and let the group hash it out so that we can make those trade-offs, because we know that we're going to have to make trade-offs. So we just want to make sure that the project keeps moving forward, and that the oversight is from a diverse and representative body. So to that end, there's a lot of ways you can accomplish that, and we're willing to be flexible with those kinds of things.
Thank you, Mr. Rody. Well, I would like to say that I've gotten to learn and have experience here with the commission for a couple of years. And this has always been my thought, that when you're in a leadership position, you're there to also look out for your members of any sort, and to help them, to allow them to participate. So at this time, if Commissioner Zavala is interested, I'd like her to participate. And should she not be there, I can step in, or, be an alternate just in case. But I would definitely love for her to join this working group alongside if their Commissioner Marks is also willing to join the working group.
Is that okay, Commissioner Zavala, or do you want to be the alternate? I guess you can figure that out.
I'm comfortable with the group consensus. I just wanted to create an open space out of respect for relatives whose people and ancestors are from Northern Arizona to have priority. But I have the time, and from a marketing perspective, I do think I can provide some good feedback when looking at the logo, and then of course from the Indigenous Commission perspective as well.
Yeah, and I'm very respectful of Commissioner Marks, who has worked alongside with our Navajo and Hopi people. So, I'm very comfortable that he can be mutual and balance things in that setting. So I give you both my blessing. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Commissioner Oski?
Yeah, I'm wondering about the students. Is this going to be a project where it's going to be a part of their assignment, or is it going to be something that they're going to be working on their spare time?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioner Oski. It is a class. It is part of the curriculum, and it is a higher level class. So it's not going to be first year students. It'll be mostly third and fourth year students that have a couple years of design experience in the program. I believe this class will be tasked solely with this project. I don't know exactly how large the class is. I believe it'll be about 12 students, although we'll see when they have their final roster at the end of summer. And those 12 students, for 3 credit hours, will be working on this as a team with or just about the entirety of those 3 credit hours. That's my understanding. And I'll respond. Commissioner Marks, I see that you had a question in there. Yes, one of the other commissions participating is the Commission on Diversity Awareness. So 2 of the 5 commissions are distinctly, sorry, I was reading the comment as well from your commissioner. 2 of the 5 commissions are explicitly groups that represent different cultural backgrounds in our community, and then 3 groups were meant to provide, or I guess really two were meant to provide a expertise aside from that. So the Heritage Preservation Commission is meant to provide an understanding of the history and culture of Flagstaff. The CODA, Commission Diversity Awareness, is meant to bring a perspective of a broader array of races and disability backgrounds, that kind of thing. You all bring an Indigenous perspective. The Arts and Beautification brings more of a concrete knowledge and skill in creating designs like this. And then finally, the Employee Advisory Commission Committee provides the employees and organizations perspective, as it will be assembled both for the community and for the organization.
Thank you, Chris. I just want to add to Chris's comments is that, you know, recently internally, there's been a lot of awareness that has been brought to to Indigenous viewpoints. And I think many of our commissions within the city are aware, and they really try to, if there's any information that's needed regarding Indigenous perspective, they always reach out. And I think that's really been valuable here than as far as changes are concerned within the city internal structure. There's a lot more work to be done yet. However, there's also been a lot that has happened. And Chris being the staff liaison for the Commission on Diversity Awareness, you know, has been a big plus, and because he knows a lot of the things that go on within the city. He's very well versed in a lot of different contacts. And so just having him be the lead on this project is a really good thing. I just want everybody to feel assured in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Anyone else have any questions, comments?
Two members.
So we can just go ahead at this time, confirm that Commissioner Marks and Commissioner Zavala will be joining the work group for the Flagstaff City logo. Is everyone okay with this at this time?
Yeah, yes.
Can I get a motion to approve Commissioner Marks and Commissioner Zavala joining the work session for the logo?
I motion Commissioner Cavatoni.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cavatoni. Can I get a second motion to approve?
Second.
Second,
To second the motion.
second the motion.
Sorry. I'll approve. This is Commissioner Lance. Have my mic on.
Thank you, Commissioner Lance.
In the vote.
And all in favor, say aye.
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 There.
Any opposed?
Anyone opposed at this time? No opposition.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Chris Rohde, for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate all that you do and bringing this wonderful idea to the Indigenous Commission today.
Madam Chair, thank you for having me, members of the commission. Thank you. And Commissioner Marks, and I think Commissioner Zavala has left, but I will follow up in the next couple weeks with instructions on when we'll look to meet for the first time and how we'll get going. So thank you so much for volunteering. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Keeps getting lost.
Okay, now we can move forward to item 6, discussion items. A, internal updates for Indigenous Commission. Staff liaison Rose Toy will, with possible assistance from Councilmember Matthews or other city staff, will provide some of the internal work progress for the update and knowledge of the commissioners.
Okay, let's see, my mouse keeps getting lost because I've situated my laptop differently, and so I'm like trying to navigate here. I don't have things to share as far as putting it on screen for you, but I do want to bring up at least two bigger items just to give you an update on some of the happenings within the city structure. And some of you are part of some of the activities that are going on. And this is regarding the CJCC, which is the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. And we have been working on this, and this is a collaboration of between the city and the county. There are, I believe, 22 members that sit on this coordinating council, and there's judges, there's attorneys, there's county supervisors, as well as the city, some of the members of the city council that sit on here, and then also members of the different sections in Flagstaff. I think maybe I can share, hold on a second, just to give you an idea of see if I can do this here, just to give you an idea of members. I can do this. There goes my mouse being run a lot. Okay, there you go. Share. Okay, so now you can kind of tell here. Here you can tell, can you all see what I have on your screen? Thank you. So these are the council members on the CJCC. So we have the presiding judge of Coconino County, municipal court judges, the county sheriff, attorneys. So this is a list of what the regular membership looks like. And then this is the executive committee, which really kind of discussed a lot of the direction of different things, where things need to go. And then they bring that down to the regular CJCC committee, which is, or council, which is down here. And these are the voting members of the CJCC. The executive committee, while they can discuss certain things, they don't really decide anything until they bring it to the regular CJCC. So what we have here is we have an Indigenous community advocate who is Dr. Travis Penn. He sits on the executive committee. And then down here, the positional ones, they added my position as the Indigenous, for the Indigenous initiatives. They added my position for that. They also have an Indigenous community advocate down here, which they changed from a tribal elected official to this community advocate, since we couldn't get that filled. So right now, our Commissioner Daryl Marks sits on this, the voting committee. So this is where we're at on that. For my portion, I chair the Indigenous Initiatives subcommittee under this. So that's just how this is set up. Excuse my scrolling here. So the subcommittees that are new, our subcommittee is pretty new, the Indigenous Initiatives. The other two have been there, and there's another newer subcommittee which has to deal with data, and that's where our Dr. Travis Penn is the one who's really going to be involved in that side of things. And then just to give you a little bit more on the recent retreat that we went through. We are now, this is our Indigenous initiatives goal, and we're part of the strategic plan, the overall strategic plan of the CJCC. So our goal here is to create a criminal justice system that addresses Indigenous cultural and community needs to eliminate the overrepresentation of Indigenous populations in the criminal justice system. And these are the goals that our group came up with. I hope you can see that. Hold on, let me make it a little bit bigger. So these are our strategies that we put in 7 of them to work on. And as commissioners, you are welcome to be part of some of these groups. I know that our commissioner, Kimberly Hosky, has become part of our group, and she attends as much as she can afford to attend. So out of this, we have other work groups that we form. So we have some work groups that are working on the different strategies here that are listed. Just to give you an idea, you can, I'm not going to read all this to you, so you can always find it on the CJCC website for Coconino County. I can't really see the chat. So I'm hoping that you're not asking questions on there. If you have questions, just raise your hand so that we can talk about it or get that here on our notes. So anyway, this is what's going on with CJCC. We have 5 working groups that I have mentioned before, who are working on the strategic plan. We have an interpreter services group, and they are working with Judith Costello. She works within the criminal justice system, I believe at the city one, but she's also collaborates with the Coconino County court system through her. She runs the interpreter services program. So we've been recruiting with her and getting certification classes going. So that's a part of some of the things that we're doing. And we've been doing listening circles as well. We've done 1 year, and now we're doing the 2nd year of listening circles. And that's going out into the community, both here in Flagstaff, in Tuba City, in Page, in Kaibito and Loop. Those are the places that we reached out to with the listening circles. And basically all we're doing is we have a consultant that we're working with who is also Indigenous, Holly Figueroa. She, excuse me, she is part of Blue Cross Blue Shield. She's the tribal liaison. And we have asked her to, well, we came up with the questions, and she's the facilitator that does the questioning and of the people who come together for these meetings. And then she'll ask the questions, and we gather all the information from there, and we compile it into a report of what our community members are saying as their experience in all the way from police interaction to court systems, whether it be city court or county court, their interactions with probation, with just anything within that system. So including support and resources. So anyway, those are some things we're keeping track of. So the other one is our cultural humility group, and that is working with, right now we have plans to work with a person out of Georgetown. His name is Chris Bajou, and he has a lot of work in equity training. So we're going to have him come in. I believe it's in September when we're going to have, or maybe it was August, where we're going to have him train the CJCC members and build a framework on how to do this type of training with DEI type training and equity work. And then after that, we're gonna put in our cultural training once the framework is built with Chris. So that's what we're doing with that. We have traditional practices sub work group, which is looking into grants for healing to wellness court. And then we're also doing, again, our listening circles subcommittee. And then we also have the CJC data collection committee that is being led by Dr. Travis Penn. So those are some things we're working on through the CJCC. We only have a few more minutes, so I'll go really quick. The other one that we're really involved with is the regional plan and the comprehensive plan with both the city and the county. I've been doing a lot of work in that area, going and reviewing the different parts of the city's regional plan. And then I'm going to also sit on the advisory council for the county's plan. So those are some things that we're working on going forward. And then I try to send you all the information when it comes to public information, public participation, so that you can come in and have input on the subjects that are being talked about at those meetings. So I'm hopeful that you'll keep doing that, because your input is really important in this phase of planning for what the next 10 or 15 years in some points. So I just want to just say thank you for that, but to please keep coming to do that. Let me stop sharing this other one. It's over here. Hold on. I have to go this way. Huh? There you go. Wait a minute. Trying to stop sharing. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like, my mouse gets all crazy when I move my computer, my laptop to a different site, and then I have to, because you have to move it in a certain way. Anyways, that's what I'm doing here. And then the other thing we're doing, like I said, was the regional plan. And then also public art is one of the things that we've been working on. So go and visit the Liz Archuleta Park. There's some public sculptures there that are from our Indigenous perspective, but also from the Hispanic and also from our Black relatives. So just look at those. Those are some really cool things that we've been working on in relationship internally with other departments. And then we also had some Indigenous input with the art out the airport. So take a look at them. We have some really cool things out there. We're going to want to do more. And then there also has been a new call to artists recently from the beautification program, beautification arts and science program. So we're going to be coming again to the commission to see who can be part of the selection panel on those applications, and also getting some of that information regarding the next installation for the public art. Let's see real quick here. With human resources, we've put together with Julie Lancaster just a small part of that with diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging video that will be part of the training process for our employees. And then at some point in like maybe 2 years, I think the city will have access to that video for a short time within that 2 years. And then after that, it's going to be open to the public. And then Lancaster leadership is going to be the one who has that that video for use for the community and other areas. So I'll stop there for right now. Just one more point is the Indigenous Community Cultural Center. We're right in the process of getting a full facility assessment on that, which will help us in doing the procurement process and what will be put into the RFP process, so that that will be put out to the public for people to for the public to respond to. That is right now in the works. So I'll keep you informed of that as soon as it comes out. So just making sure that you are part of those those processes, whether they be internal, so that you have knowledge about it. I'll stop there for right now, and I turn it back over to Co-Chair Toya. My voice is giving out anyway.
Thank you, Rose. That's a lot of work. I feel that's on her plate, and I commend her for doing all the great work and being a voice for our people here at the city level. We can move forward to item 7. Information items 2 from commission members, staff, and future agenda item requests. Does anyone have anything at this time? Oh, so I guess that will conclude our commission meeting for today. The time is now 12:58, and we can adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for joining us and being a voice and doing work for our people, and it's greatly appreciated. And I wish you all the best and your family stay safe, well, and have a wonderful summer. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
all.
Hey, Jenna, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
I'm gonna stop recording now. It's recording.
I saw the red light.
All right, good.
Thanks for the still on.
Stop recording.
There you
There
go.
you go.